How's it going?
Awesome. How are you?
Good. Oh,
I
wait.
love that sweater.
Oh, thank you. Okay, I gotta get out and come back in and set up my webcam. I totally forgot.
Okay.
1 second.
Okay. We will wait. Hope everybody's having a good week. How are you guys? Doing good?
So good. So good.
So good. Brittany McCrae, I saw the cutest picture of you today on Instagram. I was like, ooh, I need that. I was like,
Oh yeah.
me.
I sat up on my couch here and I was like, oh, it's good lighting. Let me go get my tripod.
You're like, hold up. I love it. Who else does that? Like, let me just grab my tripod real quick. Like, this would be a really great photo. Nick comes home and he's like, what's this like mix that you got going on with like a stack of books? I'm like, mind your business.
Yeah. It's gotta be creative. I'm always thinking about ways to make content because I'm not going anywhere doing anything. So it's like I'm in my house.
Yeah. This has been a week that I haven't left my house much, only for appointments. There were a handful of agents on our team that tested positive. And so I was like, okay, well, I'm avoiding the office for a little bit of time. So I haven't been to the office and it's been a little bit like weird being just here all day. Somebody else feel that way?
I've been working from home exclusively since March. And
Yeah.
I occasionally have gone to the office, but when this first happened, we had an outbreak. So the office has been pretty much closed, and then they opened and they closed and they opened again. But I'm now used to working from home.
Yeah, it definitely takes some like discipline and just a new routine.
Yeah.
You back, Stevie?
I am back. We are back in business.
Back in business. Here we go. In the hot seat, ready to roll. Cool. Well, Stevie shared with me an article this morning that was really interesting. It was written by another realtor, and it was really on like communicating and being a great communicator, the power of listening. And so we thought, hey, let's just talk about this for tonight's call. And then we'll open it up at the end for Q&A and we'll just kind of roll with it. So if you guys are cool with that, then let's get started.
Yeah, I thought this would just be such a good topic because I think that maybe we all need a reminder of this sometimes. And I just actually, after reading that article, I Googled like the topic about being a really good listener and how it can affect your sales. And literally so many articles came up and I just got like so many more tips and suggestions about it. And like being a really good listener is so critical in business and in sales. Another book that I know I've talked about this book before because it literally has been life-changing for me. How to Win Friends and Influence People by Gail Carnegie is like my all-time favorite book. And it's really about, I think it's so great for people in sales because it talks so much about listening and asking questions. Before we start off, I wanted to share this story that I think is going to really tie in with everything. And I don't know if I've shared this before, but my mom had gone to this event with my stepdad. It was like his Christmas party. This was a couple of years ago, and she had just read that book. And it's really about a lot of things that we're going to talk about tonight. And she was kind of nervous, like going to this dinner because like she didn't know anybody and was like, what am I going to talk about? Who's going to be sitting next to me? Like all those things. And she sat next to this woman, and the woman, my mom just kept asking her questions and was just listening to her. And at the end, she was like, I hardly talked at all. Like I just asked questions, and this woman, people love to talk about themselves. So she just went on, and the woman had sent her a gift after the dinner and like this really nice handwritten note, how it was so amazing chatting with her, getting to know her better. My mom was like, I literally hardly talked. And I was like, that right there is like the power of listening to people, right? And I just feel like we can really relate that so much with business, right?
Yeah, definitely. So much that we do. I followed these two girls on Instagram. They run this program. It's called Guide Culture, and it's Macy McNeely and Catherine Shermer, something like that. And like they do such a great job at this. And I private message with them all the time back and forth. And like I try to like ask them questions, but they're so good at flipping the script. And it's like, man, like, somebody's a great communicator if that's what, like, you just find yourself talking about you. You know what I mean? So I love that. Yeah, that's a great book. Has anybody else read that book or listened to that book? It's in my Audible library and it stays there. Yeah, a few of you.
Oh
And
yeah.
I'm sure it was from Stevie. I started reading it because you recommended it.
I love that book, and I even have it on Audible. I just feel like that was such a game changer for me because like getting into real estate, like I didn't come with the sales background, and I feel as though like you really have to be good with conversating with people.
Yeah.
And sometimes, like to be honest, we're all so busy and we do so much in a day. And I feel like everyone has said this saying so many times about how like we're like part-time therapists because people will just go on and on about their story. And I think, there's been many times where I've cut people off and I'm like, I can't do this right now. I've got someone calling me right now while you're telling me the story, or we're at a property and I got to be somewhere else. And I've had to, something that really resonated with me with that article was check your ego at the door and learn to become a great listener. So to be honest, last week, I was on the phone with this buyer and she was going on and on and on. You guys know what I'm talking about when clients do that. I literally put her on mute and started doing the dishes. Because I'm just sitting in my office. I'm like, I have so many things to do right now. What can I do? I put her on mute. I did the dishes. I started the laundry. Oh, I think I saw Kaylee was on here. I told her because we're working. She's helping me show clients properties, and it's someone that we're working together with. I was like, I had to put her on mute because I just feel as though maybe just do things. You have to do things like that sometimes. You have to listen and you have to be there for people, and that's a huge part of this business is slowing the conversation down. I think for me, like I talk a lot, I talk really fast, and people who have that type of personality with a lot of ideas and who are really creative, like they have to slow themselves down sometimes and like take breaks. And I think that is something that I've really learned in this business is to slow down, to not interrupt people, clarify and paraphrase. So when people are going on and you want to be sitting there, you want to be listening, but to show them that you're listening to them, clarify and paraphrase what they just said to you so that they realize that you are listening to them, because
Go ahead.
Sometimes people just go on and you don't want to interrupt them. And then whenever they're done, just like clarifying and paraphrasing. Like I know, Amanda, with you on your calls, a lot of times you'll be like, so what you're saying is XYZ. Just so like you are on the same page with things. Also too, like on the phone, it's hard to tell like people's demeanor and their body language and how they really mean about things. So it's really good, especially when you're dealing with sticky transactions, to just make sure that they are being understood and you paraphrasing what you say, I think is beneficial.
For sure. And just like you said, like asking questions, I'll never forget this. When I first got into real estate, somebody said, the person who asks questions controls the conversation, even if you're not talking. And one thing in this article said, you find great communicators. They're the ones that rarely talk. And if they do, they're asking questions. Mm-hmm. So ask questions, repeat and affirm what they're saying. Just like you said, like, so what I'm hearing you say, or, repeating back to them to affirm, because sometimes when we say things, we say it, but then when we hear it back differently, right? And so that's why some people might say like, no, that's not what I meant. Or, you know what I mean? Because they're hearing it back. And so when you repeat and affirm what they're saying, and then one of the things that I think is such a cheesy sales tactic, I'm not throwing it away, okay? But one thing that this article said was be sure to say their name and repeat their name throughout the conversation. Does anybody else struggle with this?
I try to do it.
I struggle with it because I think about like the super sales, like the car guy, the car salesman. And every time like test driving cars or whatever, and he's like, all right, Amanda, so what would this car do for you? And I'm like, okay, listen here, cheeseball. Like, I think it depends on like how you say it and like how it comes across. I know that sounds weird, but yeah, I struggle with repeating people's names in conversations because I don't want to be that used car salesman. Claudia says yes. So I struggle with that, but I thought that it was, oh, I love that, Brittany. She says, I do it to call back attention. Yeah, definitely. I think that there's a couple of ways that you could do it, but I think doing it right without coming across like cheesy. So that was something that he said in there that I thought was really interesting. And here in a minute, I'll post the link for you guys so that you can see it too. But I love one of the quotes in here said, your customers can care less about you until you can show them how much you care about them. Right. So they want to be our friend and they want to know about us, but they want to know that you care about them first. And I think in this business, like you guys probably, your clients end up coming, the majority of them end up becoming like almost like friend-like, right? Like you're talking, texting, emailing, meeting and seeing each other like every day or every other day for like a 30, 45 day period. Am I right? And so we become very, very close and connected. And so I think, you know, like you said, Stevie, like we already know all of this, but like bringing that back around so that we're not making it about us, we're making it about them and building that relationship, connecting and listening.
Yeah, I can't stress enough about asking questions. And I feel as though I'm always thinking about this. I don't know about you guys, but like every day, I feel as though I'm always in situations where I'm having to ask a lot of questions. And I'm always like putting myself out of my comfort zone, like meeting up with different people. Like we need to be networking and all these things. And I'm always like, okay, what questions can I ask them? And I try to like rip fire a lot of questions, like when I'm doing coffee meetups or lunches or going to events where I don't know a lot of people or doing Zoom calls. I just always want to be like question after question after question. And I feel as though it really helps out like the nerves with talking to new people and stuff like that. Doing showings. Sometimes it can be like, kind of awkward. You never met them before, or you're nervous about that particular client, maybe, and just come in with a lot of questions. You know, closing day could be an awkward situation. Divorces, like I feel like I'm always in weird situations like this, and I'm just like, all right, we're just gonna ask a lot of questions because nobody wants like an awkward silence.
Yeah. And I think too, with asking questions, like, I don't know about you guys, but sometimes when I hear things, I tend to react. And so when you pump the brakes for a minute and you slow down and ask questions to then gain clarity or figure out the why behind it. Like we had somebody that came through with like a super unrealistic set of repairs that they wanted my client to fix. And instead of just like immediately like WTFing it, because I was like, is this your first day on the job, bro? Like, no. These are all cosmetic things that you could see before you put your offer in. Get out of here. But instead of saying that, it was, tell me why these items are important to your client so that I could gain understanding and clarity before I reacted and sent these to my client. Because guess what your client's going to do? Most clients are not business people like this and know how to like take the emotion out of it and all those things. So instead of reacting, asking questions. I think no matter what situation you're in, questions are always, the conversation is always structured around conversations. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, I was going to pull up this article and just see if there was anything else that I wanted to mention about it.
Do you guys have any other, like, aside from this article, but
yeah.
do you guys have any like awesome tips for listening and being a great communicator? Any books or podcasts that we should know about? Because we're sharing this with you and we'll share the article with you too, but give us more to feed off with this.
Or just like any question in general about real estate. And I probably could go through my DMs and find a million.
I have a question.
Okay, awesome.
I know we actually messaged Amanda about this today. Following up about Trello. I'm curious to know what other people are doing for their boards on Trello. I've been working on mine to kind of align it to my business plan for next year. So I'm curious to know what everybody else has done with their Trello.
And I was so hoping that Casey Gray is on here, and she is. So I think that she might be in a position where she can chime in. And hey girl, hey.
Hi, I'm working from home. I'm never here.
Awesome. I was, when I was talking with you, well, like, so Trello in general, I should say, do you have anything like other than what you shared with us that you could tell us more about with Trello, or what you're doing for next year? All of those things.
I mean, there's a lot. I would say that if anyone wants to like see what other people are doing, a great place to do that would probably be in my Facebook group. And I can totally start like a thread in there, asking people to share what they have going on. I don't really have a lot going on besides kind of what I went over, but if anyone has any questions, I mean, they can always ask me. I do think it's interesting because the thing about Trello that I think makes it work well is that we all have different brains, obviously, and they all work very differently. And so the way that like I have my stuff set up is different from the way that Stevie might have her stuff set up. So I think it's always awesome to compare and see, kind of get ideas from each person. So I can definitely start like a thread in that Facebook once I'm done talking because I'm on my phone. Yeah, I think that's the nice thing about Trello. And there are 2 other like YouTube videos on it in mine, so you probably don't want to hear from me too much again. I'll share the group though in the comments.
Awesome. That would be helpful. I think we have a little bit of a spotty connection. But if you could share that, I think that would be super helpful for everyone. Go join Casey's Facebook group because like she's always sharing things. Other people are sharing things. So I know like Casey's using it as like a CRM. I use it. I have a separate spreadsheet or Trello board, I should say, for like my pipeline. And then I have one for production. I store documents on there. I use it as a training board for agents that come onto our team. So there's a lot of different things that you can use Trello for.
You want me to share mine? I don't think we shared ours, right?
No, we didn't. We said we were going to, but we didn't. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Oh, it says you have to.
Oh, here. I hold the power.
Ha ha ha.
Hold on.
No worries. Hopefully mine looks like nice and it's pretty much, I think.
Okay. You got it, girl.
Here we go. Can you see everything?
Yes.
Okay, so on the left is my key. So a lot of like, I've read a lot of the same emails, like when I'm putting in an offer. I have a repair request email, a pre-inspection email, pre-drywall report to builder for new construction, just a bunch of different things that I noticed. I've only had this for a couple of months, but over the last couple of months, like repetitive emails that I was sending, I would just put it over in the key column. And then I just have like different categories here, like properties pre-listing. These are properties that are about to hit the market. And I just visually like this. Like this just works for me. Like we're all so different, but for some reason, like these cards are just super helpful for me. And in the cards, there's just a ton of information that you can plug in there. You can add PDFs. I know we went over the basics. And then this is Casey's, like a lot of it is her templates that she had shared on our call. But I have in there like their primary address. You can add way more notes in here, attach anything that you want to attach, but it's just like a checklist. So I can click on that and just have everything written out on where I'm at and where I need to be. Active listings, people who are actively looking to buy, and it has all of their like credentials on here, their email address, their phone numbers. These are the people who are under contract. These are people who are going to be buying next year. So this is just like how I've set it up, like the categories. My sellers for next year, what has closed recently, and then that's pretty much it. But just visually, this works really, really awesome for me.
Hey, how did you, because I am also getting mine, I've been using it for a couple of months, but what I struggle in is the checklists.
Oh, so there's a button that you just add an item.
How do you make, like, do you make a checklist? Like, is that like your pre-meet checklist, and then you can like add that to any card?
You'll have to ask Casey.
Okay. Okay. Hey, Casey, do you have somewhere of all of these items in a checklist?
Yeah, and she also sells this. I think you can buy it from her now.
Yeah, I do have it on my Etsy now with all my checklists. With Trello, they don't want you to sell your boards as a whole. So you have to like still copy and paste it into a checklist. But if you go on Trello, and like Stevie could probably show you, and you start a board, or you click on one of your cards, I always get confused with whatever their name is, and you start a new checklist, you can just title the checklist whatever you want. So like if you already have your systems in place, like if your transaction coordinator already has like a list of documents that you need to get for this transaction, you can just copy and paste that list. And then when you go to create a new checklist, it'll say enter item, and you just paste those items in there. And as long as they're like line by line, each line will get put into as like its own item. So it populates it, which is really nice. And then, yeah, I do have my checklist for sale. The cards are in my group for free if anyone wants those, like how I have mine. But I'll put a link in the message or in the chat for my checklist.
Yeah, your Etsy account. That would be awesome. I would love that. And that's so nice of you to put your cards and your boards in there for free. So thanks for doing that. I know you didn't do it for me, but I'm just saying thank you. Cool. Okay, great. Thanks for sharing thanks for sharing that with us, Stevie, so that we could see like the visual of it.
Yeah, we did in our Casey and I's group, and we like shared all of our boards, and it's just so interesting how everybody's so different in the way that they set theirs up and what's like visually appealing for them. So I just felt like it was really helpful to see everyone else's. And then one of the girls, I mean, she's got like her meal plans, her workouts, her morning routine, and her boards on there. Like and this is free. Oh my gosh, I would pay money for my Trello board. That's so awesome.
Yeah, and you can add people to it. So like I have my showing partner, she's on my boards. And so
Yeah.
when she goes out and she goes like she views a property with one of our clients, like I know that they're going out there, but she's putting in notes. And then just like Facebook, like you can do like at Amanda, and then it'll tag me and it'll notify me that Andrea put something in there, and then I can go look at all the notes and things.
I love it so much.
Yeah. Hey, also, majority of y'all on here probably use coffee and contracts. So I was like looking for a simpler way to get the coffee and contracts content from the webpage to my phone, because I can't like I don't use a scheduler or anything. So I put it on my Trello board. And then all I have to do is go to that board and like the date or the topic, or I have just like a whole bunch of randoms if I don't want to post every day. And so that's something that I started doing recently, incorporating coffee and contracts content into my Trello board. So if anybody's looking for a simple way to streamline that, that's what I use. Very random question about giveaways. I wanted to reach a certain number. Any tips to give prize until it's reached, or just hope for it? Well, I'm going to sit back and relax while Stevie takes this one over, because I'm still trying to figure this $1 million question out for myself.
Okay, what was it? But I have a question about giveaways. I wanted to reach a certain number. Certain number of giveaways or certain number of people to enter?
Probably people to enter, engagement, comments, followers.
Oh, okay. To give prize until it's reached, or just hope for it. I think that you should have a deadline though set up ahead of time. So like when you go to announce the giveaway, like, hey, I'm going to announce let's say it's Monday, you're like, I'm going to announce it Friday at 4. Like put in a deadline in there, and then always be talking about it and excited about it and coming up with different ways to share it with your audience. Just doing one post about it isn't really going to get people that excited, and it probably isn't going to get noticed. Like you need to make videos about it. It needs to be like Instagram storied, hashtags, all the local hashtags for the giveaway. But I mean, I've never done a giveaway and was focused on a certain number of people to enter. I think it doesn't matter. Like if you have 10 people and that's all you were able to get to enter, well, then you started off with 10. But the more that you do and the more how active you are on social media, it's just going to bring more people. So hopefully that answered the question.
Awesome. I love it. Another question, Stevie, can you talk more about how you do your videos? What kind of setup do you use? Ring lights, professional photographer for your regular photos, or iPhone? I know that answer.
Yeah. So my new favorite thing right now is I've been doing these videos in model homes, and it's like so stupid easy. I did them. I've been doing them the last couple of weeks, and my friend Megan has been coming with me because she's just all about video. And I started ripping out these videos really fast. Like in the kitchen, I did 3 videos in like 10 minutes. And like in one take, it was like so easy. And she was like, oh my gosh, how did you come up with those scripts? And can I use that script and do the same video? And I was like, girl, this is coffee and contracts. So in coffee and contracts, they do have a video script thing, but in a lot of their captions, it'll be like 3 reasons why you need or why you should sell your home during the holidays. Like during the actual like photo caption, I use that content for the videos because you want the videos to be short and sweet. She has an intro on there. She has the topic about the 3 reasons why you should sell. Then she breaks down the 3 reasons, and then it has an outro on there. And that's all you need to do for your video. And so I copy and paste it. I literally sometimes don't even read it over. I'm like, this is going to be good. I put it in the teleprompter app. I paste it in there, and then I hit play, and I just shoot right in the model home. I save it, and it's done. And I'm using that for my weekly video, my Instagram content, Facebook, LinkedIn, and putting it on YouTube. So I'm using this content everywhere, and it's just so stupid easy. So I'm just bringing I have a smaller tripod with a smaller ring light on it because it's super easy to travel with. And I set that up in the model home. and just use my iPhone out there. And while I'm also shooting at the model home, I'll do these videos real fast, and then I go through the whole model home and kind of take B-roll video where I'm just like doing shots of the kitchen, the countertop. And if you go to my YouTube, you'll see some recent things that I've been doing. And I use iMovie. So I go in, I plug in what I said, my 3-minute video, and I do different things. Like sometimes I'll put just like the B-roll in the beginning or the end, but I did one recently where I broke up that one video that I did in 3 minutes, and in between things, I like plugged in some B-roll shots. And then for my photos, sometimes I do have a professional photographer, but probably 95% of the time it's with my iPhone, and either me doing it or a friend's taking the photos for me. So it's like really nothing fancy at all.
Don't sleep on that portrait mode. And Stevie shared with us one time a tip where she just takes like a video and then she'll just like slow roll.
Oh my gosh, the video.
Screenshot it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I do that all the time. I'm like,
I
babe,
know.
you take a picture, and he's like, it's on video. I'm like, yeah, I know, just roll with it.
Oh my gosh. And they're like the best. My girlfriend Courtney had came over and she was like, okay, I'm just going to do a video of you, and we'll just like I didn't really get it. So you do, stand in your shot, do all your poses, and have the person just video it. And then you're going to go to the video and press pause like while it's playing, and you'll be able to scroll on the bottom and go over slowly. And once you have like the pose that looked good, because honestly, it's more natural this way. You're not like doing a pose, like, did you take the shot? Did you not take it? You're waiting. It just feels unnatural. And you just do this video. And like, there was a shot I did outside that took like 5 seconds, and I got like 10 shots out of it. And I was like, this is freaking genius. You just screenshot it. So yeah. I'm all about it.
And keep in mind too, like Stevie said, you can put these videos on so many different platforms. Like you could turn it in your longer YouTube video. You could turn it into a shorter clip by just like cutting it down, and you could post it on tons of different platforms. But don't forget about posting these videos to your highlights on your Instagram profile. So I don't know if you guys like that was like a thing before. And now, like, I go through like on a weekly basis just to see like, has anybody watched them? Or I'll get like a random like clapping emoji, and I'm like, what is that clip from? And well, it's from my highlight. So when people are going to your profile before they decide to know, like, and trust you, they're looking at some of those videos. So don't forget about posting some of these that, are great to your seller highlights or your buyer, or if you have new construction, whatever it is. So I just want to say that.
All right, cool.
All right, great.
Ready to wrap it up.
One more. What edits, if any, do you use on your Insta photos? They look so good. I just like play around with the different filters. Usually like I try to like increase the brightness so it looks bright and airy and beautiful and fades out my blemishes. And then I'll look at but yeah, I'll try to get like natural light. Like if you guys notice, like sometimes I'll be recording videos like this because the natural light is coming in this way. But yeah, I think as far as edits go, I just use the filters that Instagram has. And then just kind of play around and tweak them from there. What about you?
I just Photoshop, and I look nothing like my photos.
You're so full of it. You look better than your photos.
I catfish people all the time.
No, you do not.
They're like, what?
They're like, you look like 5'10" in your photos, but you're really like 4'9".
Actually, people say to me all the time, they're like, oh my gosh, you're so tall. And I'm like, well, I'm okay compared to you. I'm not that tall.
If y'all have ever seen us like together, that's how we take photos sitting down, because I'm here and Stevie's like here.
That's hilarious. No, I had bought a preset. I don't remember who. Oh, I think it was like presetvilla.com. And I take that preset and put it in Lightroom. And I usually am like tweaking the preset. And that's pretty much it.
Do I need a preset?
Yeah, I just feel like it like brightens up the photo so much.
Actually, Casey Gray in the hot seat again.
She's our third host, basically.
She's like, are you guys gonna start compensating me for this or what?
Yeah.
So this website is where I got mine from. It's Crella, CRELLA.net, and they're $1. Well, when I bought the ones that I bought were like $1. They have $1 Lightroom preset deals. If you don't know how to download them, just watch like a YouTube video. It was a little tricky for me to figure out at first, but it's after you take a second to do it. Just pick like 1 or 2 packs, and then there's a ton of YouTube videos or TikToks. Like if you just search presets that like will kind of explain how to, if you're not familiar with editing, to like how to adjust the filters so that they fit for what you're looking for.
Boom.
My favorite ones are, I don't remember what they are. It's like white or something. I don't know. I'll look and then comment. I'll put it in the comments.
Okay, cool. Yeah, because when I was looking at your page the other day, I was like, dang, homegirl is on fire with those presets.
On fire.
It's easy to take it too far, so you just have to be careful. I think the ones that I like are the bleached Lightroom presets.
Okay, and I just posted the site that Casey just shared with us in the comments. So you need that and Lightroom app, right?
Oh, someone wrote Snapseed. I used it on my headshots and it looked like I paid money. I love it.
Oh, nice.
That's great. I love presets. I just like it to be like brighter.
I'm lost. I need to like go YouTube some things on presets because I just play around with like the brightness and the contrast and the warmth because I don't want to look, I want to look tan,
Basically the same thing.
but I want the brightness to be up. So like there's a healthy balance.
I love the tan ones. And then I'm like sad because I'm like, I'm not that tan. But
Yeah, that's where I'm catfishing somebody. They're like, it's 40 degrees outside. I'm like, yeah, but I got that glow.
I look so bronzed in like my recent one. And I'm like, I have no tan lines.
Oh man, I love that we can just chat like this and y'all think we're funny.
They probably don't.
Caffeine, it's my new Nespresso machine.
Oh, did you get one?
Yeah.
What did you get?
I don't know. Nespresso with a frother.
Oh, nice. Is it good?
Because I'm a fancy bee. Yes. And it came with like a sample pack and it's great. I can't wait to try espresso first thing in the morning.
Ooh, nice.
I've been without coffee 2 days this week in a row. I don't know how I'm even doing things.
Yeah.
But yeah, I put white vinegar in my Keurig machine and it just not a good idea.
It ruined it.
I know. So now I have like 96 K-cups in the kitchen just chilling. So if anyone wants to send me their address, I'll send you some K-cups.
Okay, I'll send you my address.
I got you. The holiday blend from Starbucks. That's what like 90% of it is.
That's awesome. Okay, y'all.
Okay. Yeah, this was so much fun.
Yeah, send us some topics for next week, okay?
Yes, y'all have an awesome, great, productive weekend. Ask questions, get clarity.
I do have a question.
Okay.
So I believe one of you is cold calling, right? Or has started cold calling?
I used to. And Stevie said that she was going to start, but Stevie also got like super slammed with business.
I've been trying to dabble with it, but I was like, like, how are y'all doing with cold calling? It's not really my thing. So it was just a thought.
So I used to.
I came from a team. I'm with KW, and that's all we did. I actually just left my team. So I would call within the first 5 minutes that a lead came through, introduce myself, say I'm here for you, just make it intentional like that. And then I would check in with them maybe every 2-3 days, like, hey, I know you're on my site. Is there anything that I can do for you? Do you have any questions? At that time, I was asking to meet up for coffee, and then I would do an impromptu buyer's consultation or anything like that. But each call was intentional of what can I do for you? But that's all I did on my team. It was a lot.
And again, asking questions, right? So
Mhm.
if you're listing for sale by owner, like, what made you decide to list for sale by owner? How did you come up with the price? You know, like all of those things, like just asking questions and questions and questions. I mean, I know that goes for anybody, but expires and for sale by owners were my jam when I first got started. And I think that's where it came, was the questions.
Well, I guess this kind of ties in with what you were talking about earlier in the conversation about the article being a good listener and just asking questions. So yeah, that's it pretty much.
Awesome. I have a video on my YouTube, excelling with expireds. And like I go over like websites where to get numbers from, scripts, objection handlers. If you want to go check that out, you can. And then Ricky Caruth posts like videos all the time.
Oh, all his live calls like every single day.
Yeah. So go check out Ricky Caruth on YouTube too. Awesome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. Well, that wraps us up. If you guys need anything at all, reach out to us. We are here for you, and we'll see you next week.
All right. Adios.
Bye.